Hello, how is everyone doing today? Alright, I'm continuing my spin for the Tour de Fleece, and hopefully I'll get somewhere with it eventually. So, these are the what would you call it, roving that I have created from. Basically, I've dizzed out my bat, and this is a Romney fleece which I had cleaned, and I've added sari silk bits to it, and you have seen some of the pictures. That's the bobbin. You can see it with those specks of colors, which definitely make it a lot more exciting than spinning plain brown fiber. As you can see, rest of my fiber studio is still set up for taking pictures and stuff for the pottery sale that I had on Friday. Um, there were some good sales. There's still some inventory there, but I need to pack all my orders today. So I will be doing that later tonight after having dinner. Schedule my pickup for tomorrow. See how many other packages I can ship out tomorrow. The rest will go to the day after. I don't want to burden my um, mailman with a lot of packages. So I have one nice mailman who is really nice about everything, and one very cranky mailman who gets upset every time that there are packages, or if my scheduled number of boxes for pickup does not match the actual number of boxes out there. So yeah, and they always come on different days. I always try to keep track on who's coming when, and I've even asked a nice guy. He's like a day's change. So I just avoid putting a lot of packages out there on one day, because yeah, tiny little truck can sometimes not hold everything. Now see, it's all running gray, but this is what I love when it gets this big pop of turquoise. I just let it go. I don't try to smoothen it out or, thin it down. I want that textured pop of color out there. Is anyone else spinning for Tour de Fleece? Or just spinning for the fun of it? I do spin for the fun of it too. Let me put on some music. Hey Charles, are you spinning as well? I saw you're making so much progress, you made me feel bad. I had to go ahead and start spinning something. I'm just putting on some music because it seems awfully quiet otherwise. Uh, okay, yeah, that's good. There we go. Yeah, you made quite a bit of progress. I hope the background music is not too loud. Just let me know if it is. I haven't spun a lot for, between yesterday and today, but I've not spent a lot of time spinning. But I think for the amount of time I've spent, I've landed up getting a lot done. Because as you can see, this fiber almost is spinning by itself. Um, it's just drafting really nicely. Um, I'm not struggling much with it pulling, or it's just like it feels right. And plus it's fun. Keeps getting those color blobs in there, so I keep wanting to spin till I get to the next blob of color. Keeps me going. Have to make it fun and enjoyable. And color makes me happy, so even though this is mostly all brown, those tiny peaks of color are nice. Does anyone have any suggestions what I should make with this yarn? I most likely will make it into a 3-ply yarn, but if you have any suggestions of what I should be doing, and it's approximately, I think it's a little bit, it's anywhere between 8 to 9 ounces. I always spin with music or a podcast. Yeah, I do as well. Uh, it's when I'm live, I kind of have so many other things to set up, like the camera view and um, you know, make sure my spinning and everything is everywhere close to me, so I'm not getting up again and again. Well, all and then I have to post the link on the Patreon page and the YouTube link and all of that. That invariably I forget something or the other, and it usually lands up being um, the music. And I usually knit while watching uh, television or something at night. That's my knitting time. And I usually like to spin early in the morning after I've woken up and had my coffee. And that I spin with no music or anything. I like it very quiet, just with my thoughts spinning away, trying not to have the entire day's agenda bother me. because if at that time I have podcasts or any kind of stuff on, it gets me all worked up that I need to get stuff done. So in the morning, I usually prefer actually no music at all, and it's just that's a big clump of color there of sari silk, but let's just leave it there. But yeah, I just I'm more talkative at this time. Yeah, if I'm tugging too much, that's what I realize. And it's the only time that I'm tugging too much and stuff has happened at times with dyed fiber, which either has been cooked a little extra, and sometimes I have done it. And it's also not for the entire fiber, it's I have realized it's sometimes only in some sections. And what I'm thinking is when I steam my fiber, it's probably that side of it which is closer to the heat source, so it gets more heat, and that side gets a little bit more compacted actually. And it's not really felted, it just doesn't flow as smoothly like this or the rest of the fiber. And I know it's not felted because if I'm spinning regular yarn like this, it just spins beautifully. But I don't know if you were there when I was doing thick and thin. You forgot how beautiful my wheel is. My wheel is very beautiful. Until it stops spinning. What do you mean? It's beautiful only when it stops spinning. I've been spinning so less on my Hanson. I think I'll probably just ply on it. You're just reminded. That's the reason why I'm live, to remind people what life was before we were stuck at home. The sunflowers are coming on well. Oh, that's good. I'm like, I planted the seeds that Kent gave me, and just this afternoon and this evening, I was going out and looking at them as though they would sprout. I'm like so bad with gardening. No patience. This angle is awesome. Oh, good. The only thing is I need to kind of clear up everything in front of me, which is, it's not like it's a mess or anything, but like that table out there, my tripod is there, which I was taking pictures of. I don't need it right now, but I still need to take a few more pictures. So, and then of course, Casper makes his appearance. Okay, I'll give it a few days. But with regards to plants, what we did is we had a ficus plant which was in this really tiny pot that I had made for many years. And every winter it just used to shed all its leaves, and then it used to come back so beautifully every time. And Rima had got it as a gift from a co-worker, I think at a previous job. And it's doing so well, but we've never moved it to a bigger plant. And so now we thought, okay, it's time to move it to a bigger planter. So we did that today. Well, Rima did that, and she got almost eaten alive by mosquitoes. That wasn't fun. Oh wow, sunflowers come that quickly? That's cool. I have no sense of time when it comes to growing things. I'm just like, is it there yet? Have I killed it already? With indoor plants, I'm fine, and I actually had a lot of luck with indoor plants when I had my worm bin, and I still keep thinking that is something I would like to have again. I just don't have the room for it in my garage anymore. Ooh, big bump of color. Let's just let that go. Mm, interesting. Sunflowers they go grow pretty tall too, right? Man, when I we had the worm bin for 2 years, and it was just like a 40 or 50 quart Rubbermaid bin, and all we put all our food scraps in it, only vegetarian scraps, no meat, and shredded paper, junk mail, all that stuff to kind of make sure it didn't get too wet. And it was on the tub had holes in it, and the water came down below, and I just used that worm tea, what they call, or compost tea, and that too I used to dilute it, one part of that to 4 parts of to 3 parts of water, and used to put that on in all our house plants, and within like months everything just like skyrocketed. Like for those 2 years all our plants grew so much, and like the leaves were fresher and greener and just so much nice. Yeah, compost tumbler is one thing, but it's that it just gets so much other stuff in it. And this was kind of nice, just for house plants. It just created the right amount of that compost tea, which was enough for our plants, and it was easier to maintain that many worms, and we didn't have any crazy, the actual red worms that you get for composting. That's what we had in them. And I just loved the way they used to just consume everything. Like we used to throw in like the rind of a watermelon or like a honeydew or something, and the next day it was gone. Yeah, you're indoor house person too. Yeah. And I can't, so 2 years we had it. The reason why had to get rid of it is because I was still working at that time, but then I had quit and I wanted to get some equipment for the studio, and I just didn't have room for it. Like I was trying to make room for what I really needed for the clay studio, and so I just put up a free listing on Craigslist. I said anyone wants it for free, they can have it, and this guy came in from Winco. Well, I know he was from Winco later on, but so this guy came in and he's like, "Oh, yes, I would love the compost bin." I said, "Yes, you can have the bin. The worms are there. We are all happy, living a great life, and they've been great for our plants and all that." And he took it with him. Then a few months back, later, I bumped into him at Winco and realized he worked there. Oh, my drafting method. You don't want to hear about my compost story? How mean. Well, I'm doing semi woolen, but it's more like a short backward. I am letting some twist into the fiber, but not a whole lot. So, and since the prep is a woolen prep, it makes for a nice squishy yarn. And where did my control card go? It was right here. Oh, there it is. So that's my control cards that I have here. Checking for thickness, so that matches with my thin. Um, if I want to do a 2-ply test, I can do that and make sure that the angle of twist and everything matches with my 2-ply. And then these two out here are the 3-ply, what I intend to finally make the yarn. So it's definitely very squishy, and I think it's going to be a nice yarn. So I'm looking forward to that. So back to my compost story. Bump into the guy at Winco, and I asked him, how is the worm bin going? You had, picked it up from my place, and he remembered me. And he's like, yeah, I tried to use those worms for fishing, and they were not a good idea. I'm like, who told you they're not fishing worms? He's like, yeah, they were very small. I said, they were compost worms. So that was a waste, giving it to somebody like that. But whatever. Once it's out of your hands, you cannot do anything. But you can see how amazingly this is spinning. It's like it's absolutely no effort on my part. And as you can see, the colors make it fun. Yeah, something is very wrong with that story. The guy purchased my lovely compost worms to make bait for his fish. There is your aquarium and compost story all in one, Kent. You can have compost bins and you can feed those worms to your aquarium fish if you want. See if they will bite. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see the colors actually appear, but once I stop the wheel, you can see all the pops of color in there. So, and the those bits are not like falling off or anything. They are pretty much staying in there. They're all nicely incorporated into. You want happy stories, okay? I will keep that in mind. The happy story is those compost worms made our plants live, and they are all still alive. So there's that. See, nice blob of turquoise in there. If y'all remember, I had also too late to sugarcoat it. I am so sorry to disappoint. Okay, so y'all remember the gray fiber that I had carded with some orange and turquoise fluff on the Louette carder? And I remember I had carded that just once, and it had like these really big blobs, which also looked really nice. So that is something I want to try on the mad batter, the Strouch mad batter, in which I use soft silk instead of sari silk. You want your money back? Okay, fine. Please request a refund at www.whatever.com. I'm just gonna share what I feel like. Some stories are not that wonderful to share, but who brought up the compost thing? No, I brought up the plant thing. Maybe I only brought it up. Jeez. Well, I will make it up. I promise. Oh, thank you. Where is Casper? Hey, Janet. Casper! Casper, Janet is calling you. Casper! He must be sitting around in the backyard. Yes, it does feel a little better. At least then it's like it's not just all in my brain, right? I've said it out loud. Casper! Casper! Hi, Casper! There's Casper. Janet says hi. Eva says hi. Apple Pie says hi. So Janet has been Casper's dog sitter. Yes. Say hi to everyone. He's come to show his face. Yes. With his ugly haircut done by me. Feels so ugly. Yes. And Casper got to see uh, two of his new friends today. Only on the phone, not in real life, because Casper is social distancing too. Two of our friends got puppies. Oh, Frankie woke up to say hello. Frankie woke up as well. Yes. Kent is online, Janet is online, Frankie's online, Apple Pie is online, Ava is online. Everyone's online. Everyone wants to say hi to Casper. Yeah. He's wondering, are you going to play with me or just teasing me? Oh god, see he's run out to get his toy. He's trying to figure out which one to get. Casper, you want to get Kong? Give me a Kong toy. Where's your Kong? Where's the Kong toy, Casper? I see it there. Yeah, go get it. Alright. Yes, that's it, Casper. Bring it. Bring it here. He's searching for a very specific toy because I requested it. So now he needs to find that exact toy. His other toy is kept there and he's not going for it. Casper, you can get me this toy also. No? Okay, you want to get Spinner? Go find Spinner. Where's Spinner? Where is Spinner, Casper? You have a Spinner too. Woof, exactly. There. He's settled down. That's a sulky face. And him not looking at me. That is just disappointment all over. Do I ever spin singles to stay singles? No, I haven't yet. Do I spin singles to let them stay on the bobbins forever? Yes. They are all meant to be plied at some point, but I have bobbins full of singles kept there. So that I do, but yeah, I have not yet. I have done it only once when I was doing that color study of spinning one braid in many different ways, and I did spin singles out of it as well and knit a sample of it. So I have done it as just to see if I can do it, but not like an entire braid or bobbin or anything like that. Ooh, nice big bumps of orange coming here. Yeah, and with core spinning, the singles are it's technically I can see why they are not singles, but it just stretches your fiber and makes such a nicer yarn. Yeah, so Kent, you had the best teacher. Are you referring to me? But yeah, I definitely, if I want like a nice, clean, singles looking yarn, I just core spin it. Casper is always cute. He just turned around to take the compliment. He's like, yes, I am. Let that person know that I do acknowledge it. So when you're spinning, core spinning, uh, to make it look like a singles yarn, you can make it thick and thin or however by just changing the size of your core. And it's a kind of a nice way to get a really nice bulky single by just using a really thick bulky acrylic core and wrapping it with your real fine merino or whatever fancy bat you have, and you get this real nice thick single yarn, and it's singles looking yarn, and it behaves just like a single. So okay, I'm moving on to the next. I think I can fit this bump in there too. So let's see. But yeah, I've had that's how I and most of my art yarn I just core spin once and I keep it just like that. Especially if it's a very fancy art bat, like art bats from Nicole. They are just so alive by themselves that I don't find the need to do anything else to them. They can just stay as is. If they are just very simple bats, then I like to core spin them, adding extra twist, and then do different things with them. Or do a spiral ply or do a auto wrap with it. So lots of different ways that can be treated. In this bat, I included a turquoise and an orange. It was orange with pops of magenta, like you can see some of the magenta pinks. So there were two sari silk, what do you call, bumps. One was mostly orangish with a little bit of turquoise in it, and the other one was mostly just turquoise. And I think I have the picture posted on Instagram of both of them. So they are both, I guess, on the color wheel. They are on opposite sides of the spectrum. But the thing I've realized with you know the whatever few bats I have made in the past and whatever fiber blending I have seen being done, uh, you can use different colors, like all the colors on the wheel, and still avoid making mud if you're using different fibers. Like if everything is wool, it'll all kind of will blend together and make a muddy color. But if your all the different colors that you put in are, you know, like pieces of silk, they will not blend like the wool. So they really make a nice, very distinct pop of color because they haven't blended, and because they are, you know, complementary or just uh, different from the color of the wool, they will stand out. And so that's what I like, that you know you can have all your colorful bits in things like silk or mohair or something, or sparkle. You know, it's not going to blend like wool. But if you put all different colors of wool together, that will make a muddy color. And since the base color of this Rowan Scottish tweed, no, I don't. Is that what this looks like? It definitely looks like a yarn I have seen, that's for sure. So see, this one, it's like mostly orange. So it's orange. There are some purple bits in it too. And sari silk is kind of random. I do have Rowan's like felted tweed in DK weight, and this kind of is, you know, looking close to something like that. Oh, Zara's fog. Okay, I'll have to look those up. So the next thing I want, not necessarily the next thing, but one of the things I do want to card on my drum carder. I was talking to you about this earlier, Kent, is a sweater quantity of fiber. What am I getting into? Yes, that's true. And it makes it so much more exciting, right? Giving those little bits of color. Like, I don't think I would have enjoyed spinning this fiber as much as I am if it wasn't for those bits of color. You know how I feel about just brown colored and white colored stuff. It's just like I get bored very quickly. But these bits of color are just what I need. Yeah, I'm thinking 2 pounds of fiber at least. And I have, so the colors I have are very dark blue, and I will, you know, probably do a live feed when I'm pulling out all the braids and kind of seeing what to do with it. But it's like a very dark blue, a dark violet, purple braids, then I have some with some teal thrown into them, but they are all in that particular color family. Purple, greens, violets, deep blues, and and the fiber content is also very different. It's there is Pulworth silk, there is merino, there is some yak wool and silk blends in it. What draft would I use? I would probably use a draft similar to this, short backward, uh, since I'm going to be creating bats from it, and you know, so it'll be like a semi woolen, semi worsted, uh, and definitely a 3 ply. For me, I definitely like a 3 ply yarn. Kent is also sending me messages. Oh my god. Let me see. Did he send me a picture of that yarn? Let me see. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, this is turning out exactly like that. Look at that. So, so anyway, coming back to that fiber, that's all these deep dark colors with some light teal in it, but very little. But it has a very nice fiber blend if I do blend it up well. But I don't even want to overblend it. The thing what I'm planning on doing is I want to add again highlight of color. Yes, it is exactly the same yarn. It looks it looks the same. The colors also, it's the same turquoise, orange, and magenta. That's exactly what I'm creating. So this yarn that I'm spinning already exists, and let's call that the inspiration for making this yarn. So so yeah, in that sweater yarn, with all the dark colors, I'm planning to put pops of orange silk noils or something like that. So it again becomes kind of like a tweedy yarn. Hey Wendy. Wendy and I are doing a knit along. That is if she can just stop unraveling and re-knitting again and again. I hope you have made some progress on that, Wendy. Dinner is ready. Okay, dinner is ready. You change your colors again. I thought you just changed your white yarn to a very fancy cashmere yarn, Wendy. Oh, nice big bumps of colors there. Let them go in. Well, thank you. Yakety yak? Yakety yak? Am I saying that right? And you're commenting from Twitch. I very rarely get people on Twitch joining in. Yeah, Casper is wondering that we have been called for dinner and you haven't moved yet. So he's waiting for me to get up now. That's a cool nickname. That dog is Casper. He is a Lhasa Apso mixed with 101 other breeds, I think. But I think he's mostly Lhasa Apso with some poodle in him and maybe some Shih Tzu in him. Who knows? But he is definitely very sweet for sure. Well, thank you, Kent, and thank you for sharing that picture of that yarn, the inspiration behind this yarn, which I didn't know existed. Yes, I will go have something tasty. Yeah, I don't think I have time to finish all of this fiber right now. My food will get cold. But thank you everyone for joining in. And I will spin maybe later tonight. I don't know, but I think I'm going to knit some. And Wendy, I did land up ordering 2 more needles because I just knew at some point I would need it. Hello, do you knit on stream? Yes, I do. Exotic Kitty 3. I do knit, I do my clay work on stream, and maybe I will knit the Steven West shawl on stream at some point. So once I get past all these numerous needles dangling around. Bye, Elena. Bye, 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 everyone. Thank you for joining me and giving me company. Keep spinning, keep knitting. Bye, Exotic Kitty. I will eventually come back again online. All right? Bye. Oh, you have a mug of mine? That's so cool to hear. And you're joining from Twitch. I think you're probably the first people who are commenting on Twitch. I usually have people only on Facebook and YouTube commenting. So that's nice to hear. People have found me on Twitch. Yay. And people who have my mug have found me on Twitch. So that's great. All right. Take care, everyone. Want to say bye to Casper? Casper, come here. Want to say bye to everyone? He's like, let's go have dinner. All right. Bye. Final time.